Our top story this half hour, the anti-American demonstrations spreading across the Muslim world. This morning, riot police and protesters clashed outside the U.S. consulate in Sydney, Australia. There were deadly clashes near Western embassies in Tunisia and Sudan on Friday. Demonstrations have spread to about 24 countries. Some were peaceful, others turned violent. An elite Marine rapid response team has arrived in Yemen's capital. Another team is reportedly headed for Sudan. Elizabeth Palmer is in Cairo, Egypt. Elizabeth, good morning.
Good morning. I'm not far from the U.S. Embassy here, and although the concrete barriers are still up, sealing it off, there's absolutely no sign of unrest this morning. Although, as you say, over the last 4 days, this rash of violent protests have erupted across the Muslim world, from Turkey and Afghanistan and across North Africa. In Tunisia, 2 people died after a mob stormed the U.S. Embassy in the capital, Tunis. Infuriated, they said, by the U.S.-made film that insults Muhammad, the prophet of Islam. Tunisian police eventually turned them away with tear gas, and armored vehicles arrived to protect the compound. In Tripoli, in Lebanon, where there is no embassy, protesters turned on American symbols instead. A KFC franchise and Hardee's restaurant were set alight, and 1 person was killed. In Sudan, it was the embassy of Germany, America's ally, that came under attack from a crowd of roughly 5,000 who stormed the building, smashed windows and furniture, and raised the fundamentalist Islamist flag on the roof. Security forces eventually drove them away with tear gas and rubber bullets. Here in Cairo, riot police kept the angry crowd several blocks away from the American embassy yesterday, and it was a smaller crowd than the day before, perhaps because 3 days after the first protest erupted and after a phone call from President Obama, Egypt's president finally took a stand against the violence. Referring to the U.S. embassy, he said, "It is required by our religion to protect our guests and their places of work." Security has been beefed up at U.S. embassies deemed vulnerable, but both diplomats and security services are really hoping that the violence peaked yesterday, Friday, which is the main day for religious gatherings in the Muslim world. Anthony?
Elizabeth Palmer in Cairo, thanks.